It's been a proud honor to be able to fly with the Golden Knights this year at winter training down in sunny South Florida. For tonight's show, I was able to sit down with members of the U.S. Army Golden Knights team and learn about the history, mission, achievements, and so much more. Tonight's guests include Golden Knights Media Director Megan Hackett, Sergeant First Class Justin Drake, and Staff Sergeant Jonathan Pemberton. Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Megan Hackett.
And what do you do with the Golden Knights?
I am the acting media director. My role is all media relations with air shows, with outside entities. Currently, I work with different content creators, influencers, production crews. In addition to that, I'm also a photographer and videographer. I assist in creating all of our marketing materials. So I do 100% of the graphics, all the lithographs, brochures, pamphlets, everything. So my role is set up to be a jack of all trades for the Golden Knights.
You shoot with?
I shoot with a Sony A1. Yes, I know. I love it too. That's my primary. That's what we're issued by the team. On my personal, I have a Canon 5D Mark IV, so still shooting with the DSLR. I love her. Can I talk about her?
Yeah.
No. I love the coloring on that one, and I know it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that you have in the newer models, but I love it. It's great. So I use that. I shoot a lot of portrait photography on the side, and she's my baby whenever it comes to coloring. I love shooting weddings, beach photos, sports photos.
The Golden Knights capture the photos and then you edit them?
Yeah. So I say it depends. I know that's kind of a big thing that you've probably heard a lot from us, and that I'm going to say a lot whenever it comes to the team, but it all just depends on what it is that we're doing. So all of our aerial videographers, some of them jump video cameras, but fewer jump still just because of the setup. It's quite heavy. They have it. You imagine their camera setup, what they'll do, they'll have bracket mounted where they have a camera set up. And then all the times a GoPro, all the area videographers, there's different setups. So most people, they'll have their own sport cameras. So we've got the Insta360, we've got GoPros, a few different off brands, but for the most part, it sticks with those two. And they'll have the little sticky mounts or occasionally the screw mount. More of the jumpers than not, they have those. But some of them will have designated aerial videographers, and they'll be jumping. Most of them jump Sonys, and they'll have a digital still camera. And with that, it's wired. They have a little bite switch. And what that does is every time they bite on it, it clicks the shutter. So they are going down, and that's how they'll capture tandem video, any aerial maneuvers that they have. That's how they get the photo. Because otherwise, though they've done it, going up and physically click, it's just not really conducive to an effective jump. But they'll jump those. And when they come down, they're like, MR, here you go. So myself and my counterpart, there's two of us who edit all of the photos here. My counterpart, Sara, will take all the photos that they get. Sometimes we'll get in a day. If the jump days were heavy, we had good weather. They were doing particularly exciting maneuvers. So as we speak, they had just jumped something that was a little bit newer to us for this winter training. It's something we've done in past, a smoke chain, several smoke canisters on a chain string. And having an aerial videographer follow them around when they do that, the images are just stunning. And we have Biscayne Bay back behind us, stunning images. So it's a red smoke canister chain. As that's coming with that blue backdrop, really vivid images. So they bring them to us. They'll bring us raw images. So here you go, do something with this. So from there, we edit for whatever use it was going to be. So Sara, she's our social media specialist. She takes it, she processes for social media. Some days we do photo. She's really incredible on doing reels. She creates all sorts of unique things. So we do a lot of the same things on repeat, and she always finds a really good way to be able to modernize it and make it relevant. What I'll do with them, I take them. We have a press release that we create where we take a lot of our top photos. So I take it, I store a bunch of photos from there. I put it on, there's a website called Divots. We use that. It's the Defense Visual Information Database. Don't quote me on that one. I believe I'm having a brain fart right now. Divots, if you will. We use that. We'll post everything there, and news media finds it. They download it. They use it. I take it. So how I said I do all of our brochures, I take it. I put them into brochures, put them into graphics. We make them into lithographs. We hand those out. We use them for decoration, branding around the building, branding around Fort Bragg. U.S. Army says, I see that photo. I like that. We take it and we use it for marketing, basically from us all the way up through the Department of Defense / Department of War. That's known as both.
Yeah.
But that's how it works. So you said the process of bringing it back to your original process of getting photos from everyone. There's an assigned videographer for each demonstration team. Sometimes they have two. So in a given day, we have 2 demonstration teams, the black and the gold demonstration team. Seeing a lot of my hands here today. But the black demonstration team, they'll have 2 videographers. They come in, hey, MR, we've got photos. Gold team does the same. We have our tandem section, our comp section. They all bring us photos. And then we have a safety and training section. And what they'll do, they go and try innovative things. They just did the smoke chain and came down with photos and video just a few minutes ago. And Sara, as we speak, is processing it. So they bring us all the raws. We'll go use Lightroom. We'll go through, process a bunch of those. We'll earmark all the things that we said, beautiful, unique, turned out well. We put those in a folder. We use those through products throughout the year. And then myself, Sara, and we have a third person, our videographer, Frank. We take everything that we've captured into our own, and then we start taking our own vision, putting it to life. So do everything on the ground. We'll go up in the aircraft as well, travel with the teams, and we do a bit of a combination.
You're working primarily on Lightroom, Photoshop. How long do you think it'd take you to process a photo so you could get it on social media?
We're pretty quick with it. For us, we have to follow certain standards for all imagery for the Army. Then you can't heavily manipulate anything because it's considered graphic design. So for social media, the goal is to get it right in camera. I'm being real. I'm pretty lazy about it. Like you get high volume of photos. My goal is to have as minimal as possible. My weakness is honestly level horizons. I go to shoot it, and as much as you want, we shoot primarily with 70 to 200, 200 to 600s. So we have smaller lenses. When you get that one, you notice you get here, and as time goes, your arm gets heavier, your arm drops, and so does that balance. So I keep my grid running in there so that I can get a level horizon, and I go and look later. It's like, this is not the early 2000s. I got to get this right. And so that is my biggest editing thing, is going through and making sure I get that right. And then for what I didn't get right in camera for composition, those are the biggest things I'll go through with editing. But for the most part, I do really minimal for a photo. Probably takes me 30 seconds to be able to get one. If I'm using it for graphic design and I'm authorized to be able to make it pop, longer, but they're kind of nuances. I'm not doing anything. We're not authorized to remove anything from a photo. So if there's an errant bird flying, sorry, that's part of it, because we're not to deceive. If it's graphic design, to an extent, we can take it. I can remove that trash can, remove a bird, anything like that. I can go through and enhance skin tones, things that make it more aesthetically pleasing. But for a typical social media post, you get real life.
I haven't seen any bad social media posts.
Thank you. Thank you.
So doing a great job.
Thanks. So I'm going to give all kudos to Sara. So Sara Garavuso, she's our social media manager. We brought her on in 2023. She's incredible. It's a team effort for everybody who's in there, though. So she's the social media manager, but she gets footage, of course, from all the aerial videographers. I send stuff as well. If I'm covering an event, I can go into that later if you'd like. We each are kind of responsible for our own show and what the content is, but as it comes to trends for things, it is primarily Sara entirely, and then the rest of us, we have our own roles. So Golden Nights, we travel to upwards of 70 plus events in a year. So we have 2 different demonstration teams. We have a tandem section, we have 3 different competition teams, and then our aviation section, which supports all of those activities. So that being said, at any given point, there'll be 6 different events going on in the country at one time. Thankfully, it's usually about 2 to 3. And so with that, there's 3 people in the media relations section. Myself as the media director, Sara's our social media specialist, and we have Frank, our third person, who's our videographer. And we each kind of set up our own roles of what we're doing in each event. So as the teams that are here that are behind me, this is our demonstration team. They'll go into their first air shows of the season. I'll be at one air show, and I believe Frank will be at the other for our start. And we each go into it with a plan. So for myself, I typically focus on traditional media. So I take my own photos with that. I love getting my favorite thing about going. I get reactions. So I'll do. I wouldn't like to say play games, but a lot of the times I'm really good at getting people being silly. So when I say that, I'll call out a name or I'll say something silly just enough to get the side eye. That's my favorite. But a lot of them, I'll say their name just right. When they look and realize, oh, it's you with the camera, I get a pretty authentic smile. Or if I say something really goofy, they can't help. I usually have a cheesy joke, and yet I get a sympathy laugh, but usually it turns into a real laugh. And that is what I do at shows. So if you ever see somebody with a really goofy grin, know that whoever was on the backside of the camera was really poking and prodding them. So when I go to a show, I'll get a lot of that emotion. I collect the jumpers footage, and from there, I set stuff up. I'll put my own footage to social media. I usually send videos back to Sara. She does really amazing reels and videos for us. I put stuff to Dividends, and then if we have media on site, I take and I'll transfer to whatever media I was speaking with, and basically give them something that local from us. So if we had a news reporter there and they're covering a story to really round out their footage, I send them footage for a follow on from me, and that's about an average show.
That's exciting.
I realize I talk in a big circle with that. You tell me.
I mean, I think all photographers do. We just love, taking photos so much that we just
It's fun.
keep on talking about it. And then when you have two photographers, they just want to talk about gear and microphones and what's going to sound better and how's it going to look. You had mentioned video. How often? I mean, Instagram reels are usually pretty short, but do you do like a longer video format?
We're starting to delve into it. We hired our videographer, Frank, last year. Starting to really pick up. And yes, he got to know the team because you can see there's a lot to know. Pretty big learning curve. So as he's gotten to know the team, he's starting to develop more and starting to work this year into longer videos. So, some of the projects in the works, we have our 3 different competition sections. They just had a record good year this last fall. Our 4-way team, they just for our own team, they are the reigning national champions, and they're going to go on to represent us in the next world championship. We have our canopy formation section in their inaugural year at nationals. They placed first, like by a landslide, which is incredible. And our canopy piloting section in something that is a very, very tough field to break into. They just continue to just show excellence with it. And for this year, I really wanted to highlight it. So Frank, he's working on some projects that are highlighting them that are going to be a little bit longer. It won't be culminating till later. And for some of it, it's just as you get to know the guys on the team, they give you different stories that make you really want to push for it. I know he's working on some. I won't go too much, but some of the guys have some really interesting side hobbies. So a question we get by pretty much every content creator or news person coming through, what's a good story? Who's interesting? And the reality is everybody here is. And I don't say that as sounding like an inauthentic public affairs rep, but inherently you came to the team because you like to skydive and you had a really good teammate personality. I think everybody here is interesting. They all have a pretty good story. Some people are a little bit more outward about it, but as you get to know them a little bit more, things present themselves. And we've got a lot of people who have really obscure side quests, I call them, or their side hobbies, or some just really like to skydive. And I know Frank, he's really been kind of honing in on it. One of the guys is a really talented referee out in his life outside of the Army. He's a football referee and he's been growing up in the ranks. And so Frank saw that and, this would be interesting. And it is. And he's able to bring it full circle because this guy will jump into football games and he nerds out. And so, like, for us, it's exciting because it's more than just showing a demonstrator doing the same thing. It's, hey, there's a person behind this. And so that drives not only our stories, our photographs. Like, as we get to know the people here, it's way easier to photograph because we're not just looking at the same thing. We're getting to know them, and it
Get
pretty
to
much
know the
leads all of our
background.
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stories of the soldiers actually doing the demos.
Yeah. And a lot of them, we spend so much time with them because we travel too. I'm not with any team exclusively, which is a little bit interesting. So there's no one team I'm with for the duration of the year. I bounce around. But in that time, you get to know so much of the entire team that you get to know their families. You get to know, what's their dog's name? That's my favorite. You get to know their dog's name. You get to know kind of what other hobbies they like doing. You know, what person has an obscure food preference whenever you're traveling, and hey, when I go with this person, we're going to get Indian food, and that also drives for us too. What's going to keep them excited whenever we're on show. There's some people whenever we jump into say football games, I know they appreciate it in a different kind of way that I can really capture that and getting their glow. So
You had mentioned dogs. I saw a few dogs out here. You guys have a mascot,
the pit mix, or are you the French bulldog?
French bulldog.
Yeah. That's our commander's dog. It's not so much a mascot, so much as just he's down here for it. He's lived his best life. We all keep joking. So his parents, our commander and his wife, they don't have kids of their own. And man, like, they treat their dogs well. They treat their dogs really well. That's how I come back. Like, if I come back as a millennial parent's dog, I know I'm doing good. But yeah, he's just out here. Everybody everybody here for the most part's a dog person, or a lot more of us want to be able to have them, but with the busy work schedule, it's kind of tricky. So when they come around, they get all the love. But that dog, he makes our mornings happy. He's got such a funky personality. So spunky.
Yeah, I got some photos of him when we were on the other drop zone. Let's see. I think that's pretty good. I think we're good.
Not just good, it's good enough.
I think I mean I get to a point where I have all these questions. Like you're talking, I'm coming up with a question, and then you answer that question that I was just coming up with. I'm like, okay,
Talk in circles too. It's like, I know you said this. I went out here. I might have come back. So it's my catchphrase of short story long, but
I mean that's what they're doing in the sky. They're going around in a circle, right, to get to their landing point. All right, thanks, Megan.
yeah, no worries.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
coming
having
on.
me.
I'm Sergeant First Class Justin Drake.
Justin. Thanks for joining me today. We've been watching you guys jump all morning, all afternoon. We can go through a few questions, so don't worry.
All right.
I'll mix it up. When was the United States parachute team established?
Oh, the United States Army Parachute Team goes back all the way from its origin in 1959, and it first started with 19 original members. Russia and the Soviet Union was kind of dominating the skydiving competition world, and so a general in the Army actually stood up. At the time, it was called the Strak, and those 19 original members just helped develop new techniques and equipment to promote the Army and win skydiving demonstrations that have kept the name Golden Knights. So dominated the sky.
And what's the primary mission of the Golden Knights?
The easiest way I can describe the mission of the Golden Knights without sounding like too Army and too strict is to basically promote the professionalism, the proficiency, the accuracy, and the capabilities of the U.S. Army. And we do that through precision aerial demonstration with our parachutes. And when we get to go and we get to spread our knowledge and our Army story throughout the entire country of the United States. We get to influence so many younger generation of people, and we get to spread our Army story and hope that it connects to influence the next warfighters of America.
And you not only go around the United States, but you go internationally also. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I've personally been to the D-Day jump in Normandy, and that was a powerful experience for sure. But to go with the team and also our competitive team.
So how will these soldiers qualify to become a member of the Golden Knights?
There's so many different avenues now. It used to just be, be a part of the United States Army, be enlisted, have a 100 free fall parachute jumps. Since then, it's kind of tailored. We now have a green platoon. So you can come into the Army with zero skydiving experience, not into the Army, into the Golden Knights with zero skydiving experience. And we actually have a few on the team now. And we give you a 1-week assessment. We see if you're a team player, can you listen? Or how much discipline do you have? What does your command say about you? We run you through this small little gauntlet, and then we train you how to skydive through the organization, and then you try out for the next fall's GCAS. And then you have the individuals who are already in the military who have skydiving experience, and you just need about 75's waiverable. 100 is for sure. That is like the absolute bare minimum. Multiple people on the team have hundreds, if not thousands of jumps. And you want a really good foundation before you come to the Golden Knights. Submit your packet. The biggest saying that we have with people who are already in the military and who are very disciplined, we can teach you how to skydive. We can't teach you to be a team player. So the biggest thing we're looking for is, can you be a team player? We travel so much, so it plays a really big part. Street to seat. So we have street to seat. So if you're a really good skydiver and you're interested in joining the Army, we can actually walk you in through a code to come straight to our organization after you successfully pass basic training and AIT. You'll come straight to the organization. And there's Private First Class Nate Hilzendegger. He's on Gold Demonstration Team. He is a street to seater. So really good, competent skydiver who came and joined the Army just for this experience.
How many shows are you doing a year?
The Golden Knights do a lot of demonstrations throughout the year. Just Gold Team personally, we probably do 50 to 60 demonstrations per year. And we have so many throughout the whole year that we actually have the 2 demonstration teams have to split it up.
So you have the Gold Team, Black Team.
Yes.
Are they both part of the competition team, or is it just a separate competition?
So you have the Gold Demonstration Team, you have the Black Demonstration Team, you have the Tandem section, you have the competition section. and then you have our headquarters section. So the only demonstration teams are the black and gold, and there's no difference in the two, other than there's a lot of rumors around the organization that gold team is the best team. So I don't know what that's about. There's a lot of people that say it, but our gold team's the best team. Other than that, we do the same thing. We can do the same shows. We just have so many. We have to have two teams. So gold and black.
And have the Golden Knights won any international or national skydiving championships?
Yes, sir. They've won. The Golden Knights, since I've been here, have won they've won 9 world record attempts. And they've also, I think throughout the history, have over 4,600 medals, gold medals that they've won, and about 350 world record attempts.
And what is your favorite movie that involves parachutes?
Cutaway. Anybody that wants to watch an amazing skydiving thriller film, watch Cutaway.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. My name is Staff Sergeant Jonathan Permberton. Yeah.
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you as well.
Do you guys pick up anyone that is already parachute certified or skydiving certified?
Yeah. I think it's very unique in our unit where we have soldiers who are excellent in their field, who have a passion to learn how to skydive. We put them to a board, make sure they are the right fit to showcase what it's like to be a soldier for the American public, and we make them into skydivers to perform that duty. And then we have, people on the team who have gotten their skydiving license. I know when I got my license in 2016, I was on Fort Bragg already, learned about the team, and I was like, man, if I could just get the Army to help me get better at this would be awesome. And then we have the complete opposite of that, where we have someone who is already a skydiver thinking about joining the service. We're like, hey, you should join the Army, because we have a way to get you straight to the team with our Straight to Sea program.
How many jumps did you need to get the license?
There's 25 jumps. That's mandated by the United States Parachute Association, USPA. And that's how you get your A license. And once you get your A license, you can jump anywhere that is a USPA drop zone and have a lot of fun. So I remember my first jump after getting my A license, because you're in a suit and, this is helmet, all this stuff. You look like a student. And I remember my first jump, I was like, I get to wear whatever I want and have fun with it. And it was a lot of fun. So
awesome. How does the team ensure safety during public demonstrations?
Absolutely. One thing is, from the get-go, we make sure the airspace is noted that we are going to be performing skydiving in that airspace. We make sure the landing area is big enough. It's free, clear of obstacles. For the most part, there are some tighter landing areas that do have some things, but we are trained for that. And then keeping the crowd at bay to make sure that they can see the action, but also we have plenty of area to land in.
Is there any special parachutes or equipment used during stadium jumps?
What you saw today in those 7-cell canopies that come straight down, that's what we prefer to use in stadiums. There are other teams using a little smaller parachute, but again, 7 cells. And I say that because there's 7 openings in the front of that parachute. It opens really well and it's really predictable. And that's what we choose to use for stadiums.
Is the parachute easier or more difficult to kind of maneuver when you're in higher altitudes?
So higher altitudes, there's less dense air generally. So therefore, it's going to go faster. It can be good for some maneuvers if you want to look cool and do some cool stuff with aerial photography. But if you were to land at higher elevations with the same parachute you're used to landing here at sea level, you're definitely in for a rude awakening. I think people who are doing jumps like Everest are jumping to rather large parachutes just because the air is a lot less dense.
Mm-hmm. With tandem jumps, I didn't see any today, but does the team use it, and how do they use it? For what purpose?
Yeah, the last 4 years, before coming to the gold team this year, I was on the tandem section as the assistant team leader over there. Tandem is a really cool way to take someone who doesn't really have an idea about skydiving, also doesn't have maybe a really good idea about the Army. We're able to marry those two together, get them out of an airplane with a soldier, and share that experience. And I think it's a really good segue of, if there's young people out there who are thinking about joining the Army, it is, they are trusting us, to take them out of an airplane with a soldier so that they can trust that the Army will take care and train young people up, and it's just great. I love it.
What role does the team play in military, like public relations, or even as a recruitment tool?
Yeah, it's multifaceted with public relations. Obviously, there's a lot going on there. We do pride ourselves in performing at larger events, especially last year we did the Army 250th, or the Army, the 250th parade. That was awesome. And we do go up there and jump into, I think it's Fort Meade, which is a big military display. And, we're not a single line effort. There are other units out there performing and getting really cool videos and pictures for the Army. But in recruiting, we showcase precision, and it's something is pretty crazy for the average person to see us flying with smoke on and landing in such a small area, and bolster that area that we're at to allow the recruiters to have access to talk to people who are thinking about joining the service.
How long do soldiers usually serve on the Golden Knights team?
I think historically, there's definitely a number. If I had to spitball it, it'd be anywhere from 7 to 10 years. Most people who come to the unit have been in the Army for several years, whether that's 6 or 10. We do have people who come straight here. And if they are able to obtain a tandem rating or be a tunnel instructor, we have found that someone that valuable with that asset, we would like to keep them long-term on this team.
How has the team changed since the 1950s? Has it become better?
I think that the team, just in general, transitioning from a round parachute, you got to think the rest of the conventional forces jumping out of airplanes are using a round parachute. There's minimal training needed for that. You can throw a lot of people out with a lot of equipment very low so they don't get shot at by the enemy. The team historically jumped those parachutes, made some modifications, started getting them to fly the way they wanted them to. Civilian contractors came in and started with us kind of developing different shapes of parachutes. Some flew good, some didn't really fly that great. And what you see now is that modern parachute, that rectangle shape. So I think with the update in technology, not only with parachute, but also helmets and other safety things, we have become a lot more precise and put on a much better show. Not to say those guys did a bad show. I think landing those parachutes and boy, the men back then who could jump those things and survive those landings, hats off to them.
Is there a show that's been your most memorable to attend?
My first year on the team was COVID, so we were down here in winter training for all these awesome shows. They got taken off the list. I was able to get my tandem rating. So my biggest show that I've jumped into was actually while I was on the tandem team. We jumped into the Indy 500. It was last year and the year before. I remember landing my parachute in this massive open field. I didn't do anything cool. I just landed a parachute going pretty fast. I landed and I opened my visor and I'm like, what is that sound? And it was the crowd. And I was like, oh, that's different. That's cool.
Yeah.
So just amazing with the 160th SOAR, the task force guys flying their helicopters right over top too. After we jumped in, we made the Army look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah.
And then finally, what's your favorite movie that has parachutes?
There's obvious choices. Some are cheesy. My wife got into skydiving.
Give me your top 3. Start with your cheesiest.
I think the cheesiest scene's got to be Point Break, because no one's going to be talking to each other in free fall, and you're not going to pull that low and survive. The second cheesiest is probably Cutaway. I think there's some really good documentaries out there that's got skydiving in it. My buddy Nate just showed me one, wingsuit base jumping, because of the risk. And just where can you get someone flying that fast, that close to the ground, especially in Europe? Really cool stuff.
Switzerland.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Thank
you. Take it easy.
All right, see ya.